Hi travelers. You are looking at the inside of my Ford Bronco. It is a 4-door black diamond. And today I'm going to be attempting a pretty big project. So if you've watched my previous video, you'll know that I talked about having ordered a drawer system and a kind of platform that's going to level out and attach to the drawer system, so that way I can, have my camping gear ready to go, as well as have a sleeping platform back here. And I believe I also mentioned I still have 4 weeks until it arrives. Well, it came 4 weeks early. We're gonna see how far we get with this. So this is the Goose gear drawer system for the 4-door Ford Bronco. I've also ordered the plate system, which basically I'll have to, and you'll see, but I'll have to take out the trunk kind of lining and install this plate system, so that way the drawer system can sit on top of it and I can screw it in. So there's that. And then I'll also be doing a 60% delete on the seat here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then have the attachment platform that attaches to the drawer system go here. We shall see how it goes. I found a video here on YouTube of someone else that did it, and I'll probably reference the video here once in post-recording, because I think it was super helpful. I wasn't finding a lot of videos about the seat delete as well as this specific system. That'll be super helpful, although it looks pretty straightforward. So again, we'll see what mess I get myself into. Hardest part again is going to be this seat delete. So again, we'll see what I get into. My first step that I'm going to take is just going to get this mess out of here and see what all is maybe going to have to come out, see what bits I need for different tools and wrenches and what have you, and then we can kind of go from there. This will kind of be time-lapsey, and I'll try to do a step-by-step explanation as I go in post-recording, but enjoy. All right, so did my first observation, and so we're gonna have to take this off, and this seems maybe relatively simple. It's just this panel here. So it's basically just these clips slide out, and let's see if I can go ahead and take care of this right now. No, okay. Alright, so I figured it out pretty easy. It doesn't look like I may be able to take this section off, so that way I could leave this other half still on here, but I'm not sure. I think I'll figure that out at some other point. Kind of reason I would want to keep that on is just for this wiring that's going around here, but for now I'm going to take it off. And as you see here, I kind of pried this up and this came out of here, so now I've got that out of the way. If anything, I could maybe cut it, and then I'll have this half. So now you are obviously staring at the rear seat. Okay, so we've got a bolt here, probably got a bolt under here, got this here and this here. Okay, I'm probably gonna remove this plastic piece. I'm a little bit worried about the seat belt situation, but I guess we'll get there when we get there. Okay, I probably can't see super well, but We've got some bolts down here, so I think I'm gonna tackle this first and see what I get. Okay, there's that. There's the bolts. Same here. Pretty simple. Okay, so we've got a bolt here, and we've got two bolts here. Alright, trying to make it so y'all can see, but again, we've got these two bolts over here, and then one bolt over here, so I'm gonna go ahead and work on this one. This is a 13 millimeter, and let's see. Alright, there we go. Loosen that up. And alright, so I got this little magnet plate here, just so that way I can keep all my bolts. I've got this one on. Alright, so we've got the next bolts, which are here. Same thing, 13 millimeter. Okay, so there's one bolt. Loosen those. Alright, so there's our bolts. Alright, so my understanding now is that I should fold these seats down. So we've got a bolt back there, and I believe we've got another one back there as well. So you see we've got a sensor here. Looks like it's clipped on. We got this sensor here. Got a flat head. There should be something here that allows me to slip this out. There we go. Okay. It may have not been a necessary step, but I'm gonna go ahead and screw these bolts back in just loosely for now. They're not gonna get in the way, so instead of losing them down the road or not being able to find them, if I ever want to go back on this, it's just better to do this. We've got a bolt here, got a bolt here, got a bolt here. It's definitely not 13. It's 18 millimeter, but so it's 18 millimeter, but this is not deep enough. Alright, we're back after a store run to Lowe's and just trying to figure out what I had and what I didn't have. As I went to Lowe's, I did get an error message about the back seat sensor, so that would make sense because I unplugged this, right? So we'll just have to remember to put that back on so that way we don't get that error message. But okay, essentially what I was missing was a 18 millimeter for these bolts. So we've got one right here, we've got one right here, and then we've got one right here. I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that, see if I have the arm power for it. Probably not. Nope, I do. Okay. We're getting there. Should be loose enough now. There's that. Sweet. Never mind. little bit more. Hot. Okay. So now the other part I went to Lowe's for is this. Oh, let's see. Again, my arm strength's on this. Myself a little bit of leverage. There we go. And this again is just an 18mm ratchet wrench. Okay, that should come right off. Ooh, it's hot. I'm in Arizona and it is currently about 9 p.m. and it's still 100 degrees outside. So, but if I try to do it early morning or at another time, it's just going to be as dreadful. Alright, so there's not really a good way to show you guys this, but let's see if I could do this here. So, see down here, there's a little cover here, and we've got 2 more 18mm bolts. I was trying to just pry it out like this, or use a flathead to kind of pry this out, and that wasn't working. There's some notches, or some cutouts here on the side, and what I found was you just try to, it's on either side as well, so if you just try to slip in here, there we go, just kind of try to wiggle it out, and you'll see there, I think you can see, but you've got 2 little things right there, and that's all it is. So put that away. Let's see how we're looking. All right, I've got a weird setup here. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this, but I'm not figuring it out. So I raised the seat a little bit, got this in there, and now I'm here for some reason. I finally got enough leverage to loosen, so I'm gonna get working on that. It'll stick. You'll realize how tricky it is here in a second. Everything's just in the way. Strip it, so just be careful when you're doing it. It might be better just to get a ratcheting wrench. I'm gonna be stubborn about it. And having the seat on my knee is not the greatest. Alright, let's go again. This is just real, not a great spot, not gonna lie. Get in there. Here we go. Ooh-wee. All right. Now, ooh, hot. Hot, hot. All right. Now we've got another one. How to get through this one? Hopefully, it's a little bit better. Alright, so probably best view I'm going to be able to give. I took these off because they're being a pain in the behind. Alright, so this is probably going to be the best vantage point, but again, I'm saying I'm in Arizona and it's like freaking 100 degrees, even though it's like 10 p.m. now. The camera is overheating real quickly. So while I was cooling down the camera, so I went ahead and took these off. These are held together by, you'll see there's one of these little like pop-ins here, and I've got some extras here, so I didn't really care if I ripped them or not, but you usually want to use one of these tools here, and that'll get you some leverage, so that way you can come in here and pry it open. So there's that. So there's one there, there's one here, and I did the same thing with this one. Again, there's one there, there's one here. That'll give me a little bit more leverage, and I did finally get there. Or wait, sorry, I'm not doing that one. So I'm hoping that'll give me a little bit more leverage. Let's see if that's the actual case. Alright, so I have to use my feet a bit, but oh. Finally got enough leverage. Bad camera angle right now. Oh. Alright, and that is going to be the seat belt thingamabobber. Alright, so now on to the next thing. Alright, so we've got the driver's side seat belt, and here we've got a, looks like it Torx. This right here, just a little plastic piece that goes over the bolt that's in there that we're using the 50 torque on. So I'm just sliding this up to kind of get it out of the way. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and remove this. Okay, so that's that. Okay, how does that help me? Not much, really. Alright, okay, so bought this up from Lowe's. It's not a 55, it's a 50 for sure. And so I've got this ratcheting, I've got an extender, and we've got a 55 Torx. This should hopefully get us over this hurdle. Let's see. Might need to get up. attention on that, probably for good reason. But it seems like our seats are out. Okay, just gonna get that loose, get this out of the way. So, it's starting to get a bit windy. So we've got a seatbelt thing here. Might need to. Oh. Okay, that's probably not great. Alright, that was a little bit hard to see, but essentially the seat belt for both of these seats, both passenger and driver side, there was a little thing over here, and I'll try to show it later, but it's mounted on to the plate for this here. So in order to get it out, we kind of have to slip that out. We'll see about this coming out. Alright, so I'm gonna try to get these seats out. This plate came out just easy. That one just slipped out. All of those slipped out. Alright, there's that. Alright guys, I did the thing. I've got everything loosened that needs to be loosened for the seat delete, so I'm gonna go in there and bring out the seat and you'll see that it's actually done. Alright, so that's done. Quick tip, anytime that you're pulling anything out of your vehicle, I'm sure most of you know this, but especially pulling something that big out, roll down your windows. Just be on the safe side. Alright, so now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what all I'm going to do. Alright, so here's what we got. So this is what the four-door Bronco looks like without its 60%, so driver's side seat and that center seat. I'm gonna put these away. It's pretty dusty and messy. I'll probably do a little bit of cleaning, but so essentially, just to recap, right? There was a bolt here for the bottom of the seat. 2 bolts here for the bottom. These were 13 millimeter. Okay, so we had the bolt here. We had those 2. Then we took off this one. That was the 18 millimeter. We took off this one, also an 18 millimeter. We took off this one with the ratcheting wrench, which was 18 millimeter. We took off these 2, which was covered by a little plastic thing, and those were 18 millimeter as well. So this is the thing that slipped out, or that I had to slip out to, because it was, hold on one second. So So this is the thing that had to slip out, right? I'm not gonna go ahead and take it out, but you see like this plate here for this seat, that's sitting underneath it. Same thing with this seat set. That was sitting underneath it, so we had to slide this out. Again, I'm not gonna slide it out. So there was that. I had said at the beginning to disconnect this. You didn't need to disconnect this. This wasn't in the way at all, so you could leave that intact. And then the last thing last bolt I had to take off was this. And this was so this is a 50. Here is a 50 Torx. Now what I'm going to do, or what I want to do is, so all of these bolts, everything, they're not going to be in the way. The plate system that's going to be here, it's, as you see there, right? So it's going to sit up here. There's no reason for me to take this out, especially for what I'm planning to store. I think what I'm going to do, and depending on the time it is right now, I haven't checked, but this might be it for today. I might just wipe things down a little bit. I would vacuum, but it's pretty late at night and I don't want to disturb neighbors and anything like that. So just gonna do a quick wipe down. Yeah, so fasten these down to about what they were at before, you know, at least get them down to level, and then we'll kind of go from there. But I'm not gonna make y'all sit through that. I'm gonna go ahead and pause here and then we'll come back. Actually, no, you know what? This will be the end of this video for the rear seat delete. So there you have it. That's the 4-door rear seat, 60% removal. And then so what's next is, I don't know, I'm trying to think through this. Oh, here. So quick thing on this one here. Let's see where I put it. So I don't know if I ever decide to put this back together, but there's a little fastener here, right? So you've got the seat belt, the middle seat belt, right, for the center seat. Got the mount or the bracket that slides in here, right? And then you have this fastener on top of it. It is a metal fastener, and as you see here, there's absolutely no way I'm going to be able to reuse this. So just something to keep in mind. I had to pry pretty hard on this. As you see here, there's a bunch of scratches from the flathead. I'm sure there's an easier way to do it, but honestly at this point I'm already exhausted from doing this, so I wasn't going to try to play it safe. So yeah, so I'm gonna clean these things down. Only other thing that I could advise is just putting some anti-seize on these screws here before I bolt everything down. Just a good practice to do as far as like what I've read and videos that I've watched from mechanics and what have you. Just make sure you're putting anti-seize on your screws. But I'm gonna take care of that, charge this thing up and let it cool down again. And if I feel like I have energy, then we'll get to at least maybe the plate system from Goose gear. But aside from that, sorry for the angles and it's always tricky trying to show installations or anything like that, as y'all know, but hopefully, you know, everything came out okay. But we'll see where we go from here. All right, bye.